What if I told you that in 2025, the biggest difference between a thriving business and a struggling one is content? Would you still ignore it? Well, here's why content creation is important. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what kind of content to create that speaks to your ideal customer and then builds trust. How to create that content step by step, even if you're not really the creative type, and how to post and share in a way that actually brings in leads and customers. So, if you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever felt overwhelmed or unsure about content, this is for you. Content isn't optional anymore. It's how we build trust before a customer ever contacts us. One of my clients, Dr. Darren Vanskoy, a local health and fitness expert, he wasn't the biggest name in town, but here's what he did have. He had helpful videos, simple health tips, and weekly posts that answered the questions that his community was asking already. And the content, he was the go-to expert before anyone even booked a session with him. That's the power of content. And in 2025, it's extremely important. It builds trust before the sale. And if you're not doing it, someone else is. So let's talk about why content is non-negotiable in 2025. Right now, 70% of people say they would rather learn about a business through content than through paid ads. So if you're not showing up with value, you're actually invisible, or worse, you're forgettable. Now, what kind of content should you actually be creating? Well, you've got tons of options. You've got videos, blogs, carousels, stories, live streams. Pick whatever format feels really natural to you, but keep this in mind. Every single piece of content should solve one specific one problem that your ideal client faces. Focus on education, focus on value, and then focus on trust. Don't just sell, but serve. But none of that works unless you actually know who you're talking to. And I don't mean like some vague demographics like women in their 40s or people who like fitness. That's not enough. You need to build out your customer avatar or perfect client persona. And here's how to do that. You start with pain points. What are they frustrated about right now? What's keeping them stuck in the place where they are? Figure out their desires. What outcomes are they really craving? What transformation are they looking for? Map their buying journey from start to finish. What are they Googling? What hesitations do they have? What proof do they need before they trust you? Match their vibe. Are they logical or emotional? Are they formal or are they laid back? Speak their language. And here's a pro tip. Give your avatar, your perfect customer, a name and a story. It makes creating content feel like you're really talking to a real person, not just some generic target audience. Once you understand your person, creating content becomes way easier. You're not guessing, you're connecting. Now, let's get a little bit deeper. Let's go into the 5-step method to create content that builds trust, even if you don't consider yourself a content person. Here's step 1. Identify one problem, one that your client has. Look through your inbox, look on your social media DMs, look at your past consultations. What are people asking again and again? I would start right there. For example, if you're a fitness coach, maybe it's how do I eat clean without feeling restricted? If you're a landscaper, it might be something like how do I know what plants will work in my garden? So track these questions in a document or a spreadsheet, and then over time it becomes your content vault. Step number 2, outline the solution or the message. This doesn't mean that you have to write a script out. Just bullet point out your key points. What is their problem? What's the common mistake people are making? What's your approach to solving that problem? And then what's the next step for them? If you're making a video, this is your talking flow. If you're writing like a blog, it becomes your headline and your subpoints. If it's a graphic you've designed, it becomes your carousel steps. And you want to record yourself explaining it like you're leaving a voice note for a friend. Just Act like you're talking to someone you already know very well. Then use that as your first draft. Step 3 is to create it in any format. This is where people get stuck, thinking that content equals video only. Video is powerful, and it is probably the best format, but it's not the only way. You can create written content, blogs, captions, newsletters, guides, visual content like carousels and tips and graphics and infographics. They're great solutions. Audio content is great as well, like some mini podcast or voice note clips, guest interviews, those sort of things. Podcast in the traditional sense. Video content is huge, and I won't deny it is the best format to use, but it's not the only way. But start where you're most confident and then build from there. Video will build trust a lot faster, but writing will build authority, and visuals will get shared, and audio builds more intimacy with people. But don't force it. Use the format that really works for you, for your style, and your comfort level, and your audience's preference. And then you'll be able to be real and authentic wherever you are. Step 4, edit lightly for clarity. You're not creating some Netflix special. You're creating helpful content. For writing, just break it up from long blocks of text into, your key points, key lines, use lots of bullet points, use some white space when you're creating some sort of document or writing project. For videos, just trim the dead space, add some captions, throw in a title card maybe, clean up any background noise you might have, maybe even add an intro, sort of a hook at the beginning. That's obviously important. If a 12-year-old can't follow along with what you're doing, then I recommend you simplify it. That's your clarity test. And now step 5, post it where your customers are. And here's where it all ties together. Distribution. Pick the platform where your dream client is already hanging out. Don't try to be everywhere. Start with 1 or 2 and master those. Take one core piece of content per week, like a podcast, a blog, or a 5-minute video, and then break it down into smaller pieces. Create a quote graphic of some sort, maybe pull a 15-second video clip, turn one paragraph into a LinkedIn post, record short form videos with your key points from your longer form, send it out as an email, use the transcript to write a blog post. So one idea can become 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of content. That's how you stay visible without really feeling like content is a full-time job. Inside my Impact system, we use some automation tools and pre-built templates that will really help you to schedule, repurpose, and post on a consistent basis. Even if you only have a few hours a week, or even maybe not that much, we've created a system that not only helps you create your content, but also helps you to distribute it automatically. If you want more information about that, there's a link in the description. Let's talk strategy, because posting content shouldn't feel like throwing spaghetti at the wall. You want to post with real intention. Start with this mindset. Give more than you ask for. Lead with value. That's what will build trust. Then use a posting schedule you can actually keep up with. 1 post a week maybe is better than 7 posts that burn you out and you vanish for a month. Mix up the formats, mix up into video, blogs, reels, stories, live streams, whatever fits, again, your message. But when it's time to ask for the sale, don't be shy, be clear, be bold. Don't make people guess what to do next to get your service or your product. Now listen, I completely understand content can feel intimidating. It can feel overwhelming. Maybe you're thinking, I don't know what to say, or no one's watching. I'm not a content creator. Well, let's reframe, because content isn't about being perfect. It's about being helpful. It's communication, not some sort of performance. You're not filming a Netflix special. You're just showing up for your people. And when it comes to staying consistent, don't rely on daily inspiration. Use tools and routines that help you to batch and repurpose. Create once, use it 5 times. That's how smart creators stay ahead without burning themselves out. Because here's the cost of doing nothing. No content equals no trust, and no trust equals no visibility. And while you're silent, your competitor is posting. They're building that trust. They're becoming the go-to answer. They're getting all of the leads. This is how small brands can really beat big ones in 2025. They show up consistently, they connect, and they make people feel seen and heard. Oh, and if you're thinking, this all sounds great, but I don't know how to figure out what my customer really wants, I don't know what they want to know or what they want to learn about, I got you. Grab my free AI tool. It walks you through creating your ideal customer avatar. That's in the description below as well. It's a free AI tool that helps you discover exactly who you're talking to and what you need to say. I also have a complete training on how to create the ideal customer avatar, or what we call ICA, that I know that you're going to find valuable. If you're just starting to think about content creation, this is a really good video. I would recommend you watch it. Click here to watch the next video.